Well, finally, I've got a multi-tool from Germany. And before we get into its history, whether it's dark or not, let's go ahead and start talking about the tool itself. Now, this multi-tool comes from an unknown age. I do not know when this was produced. There are so many different stories about these tools around that I have not been able to really determine it completely. But this is going to be a fixed blade knife, but it will pack several multi-tools in its handles. So first of all, we find that it is, let's go ahead and get the length of this. So the overall length of the knife is going to be just right at around 9 inches. Its blade is going to be about 5 1/4 inches long, and then its handle is going to come in just under 4 inches, about 3 3/4 inch. So this is going to be, I would say, about the perfect length of knife for a fixed blade knife. It's not going to be extremely long, but it's definitely not extremely short either. Now, I wanted to go ahead and, let's see, there we go. This is going to be what is on the blade. Now, the Solingen, or Solingen, however you pronounce that, the German, that's actually German place. From my little research that I did, it seems to be a place where knife makers in Germany basically unionized, I guess you could say, in around 1571 or so forth. So that's actually going to be a place, and I don't know too much else about this knife, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So we have the blade of the knife, and then we have back here where it almost looks like it used to be a cutting hook at some time, and then I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's a fish scaler. This came in a fairly rusted condition, and so I had to do some work to try to get the rust off, and I still have some work to do. Now, the handle, I have to say, is pretty comfortable. I really like these handles. These are reminiscent of some of the handles you'll find on American GI bayonets from World War II, and I really like that texturing. Some people have mentioned that these are Bakelite handles. I'm not sure if they are or not, but that's what some people have said. It's pretty neat to see this, almost like the coat of arms or the stamp of the manufacturer. Some of those touches seem to be missing in today's world. They just plaster their name over everything, but it's sort of neat to see that old school touch. Now, on the handle, we do have several different tools, and this is going to be the file. And then again, we have almost like another hook. And again, I'm not sure what these are for. These have been out of production so long, I could not find any information on the tool set itself. This is going to be a sort of saw. You can see that it's fairly thick. It seems like it's a little bit thicker than some of the saws we see today. And then I don't know if that's supposed to be a bottle opener at the bottom. I guess it could work that function. Let's see if this has the same. No, so I assume that is supposed to be a bottle opener at the bottom. Then we do have the corkscrew as well. Now you'll notice that when I close these really go back with a pretty hard snap. And then this is, I would say, I'm not sure what this tool is again, but looks like it's sort of like an awl to get knots and ropes loose, something like that, like a spike. And then again, well, with that one you don't hear as much, but some of these other ones, they're a little bit hard to get out at times, not super smooth, and then you can definitely hear it snap closed. But for actually using these implements, I actually find the knife fairly comfortable in the hand. Obviously, you do have this long knife blade, but as far as the handle, I actually find it more comfortable than some multi-tools. None of these tools seem to stick out and gouge my hand, whereas in some multi-tools, you're on the handles and it gets a little bit uncomfortable. But this is actually fairly comfortable in the hand, and it feels fairly good. Now, on my particular multi-tool, it did come with this leather sheath, and you can see that this has definitely seen a lot of age, and this part is broken over here, and it's definitely in some sort of sad need of repair. The thread has broken loose there as well. So originally at least this is how I got it. This is how it would have been on the belt. Now, if you read about this multi-tool online, you will run across the story of someone who claims that a Nazi soldier, 94-year-old Nazi soldier, former Nazi soldier I should say, was talking to someone, sold him this knife, recounted his war experience of coming over to Pearl Harbor and so forth. So I don't know how much of that to believe, but this is a German knife. And this place in Germany did make bayonets or officers' knives during World War II. I'm not saying this specific company, but this place. And so it may have sort of a sordid history, I guess you could say, but I did think it was valuable in the sense that it's neat to see the history of multi-tools on a fixed blade. Now, I am really interested in what you guys think about multi-tools on fixed blades, so I'm going to put up another poll in the community section and see how many of you think it's a good idea to have multi-tools on a fixed blade or a bad idea. All right, go ahead and head there and vote.